Okay, hold on. Okay, I just wanted to check that. Yes, so good morning again. No, sometimes I will be in, you know, sometimes I'll be in black, other times I'll be in red. So, if you know, you know. Anyway, it's time for me to make some, well, what do I call it? It's time for me to be all about making abundant tangible habits. And again, I'm taking you into the light away from the dark. But since we all know pi, let's make this art. Yeah? So again, I like to lead by example, right? So some of the things that I used to do, why am I saying it like I'm a former teacher? I still do it. I still do it. So you know what? Let's have some fun, right? Yeah. I don't necessarily want you to see what I've written up here. I don't want you to see that. All right. So I believe I perfectly described what, since we all know pi, let's make this art really is. So therefore, that will be a conversation with me and you. So what you just saw was, since we all know pi, let's make this art. But no, all we're going to focus on now is making abundant tangible habits. Right? That's what we're going to do. Yeah? So there's a question, and I just don't remember which one it was. Which question was it? I'll go look at my tablet and see if I can I cheat the process? Can I cheat it? All right, no, hold on. Don't flap me, This tablet sometime. Yeah. So let me apologize. I'm being a bit distracted right now. All right? A bit distracted. All right, so I'm seeing okay. Yeah, I'm seeing some pep. I'm not seeing the C-set questions. Look at me. Look at me forgetting to put that. It's fine. It's fine. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. So anyway, fine. This is a question that I just did not too long ago. So I did it not too long ago. So why not? All right. So it's time for us to start making abundant tangible habits. So anyhow, I have some habits, completely unorthodox habits when it comes to mathematics. Just me. So that's why I've labeled it like this, so that you can understand that, hey, this is me. You don't have to do it like me, but this is how I do it. All right, so here we go. We want to find a replacement term for the 7 right there, the -7. Now, mind you, here's something that you want to know. If you can solve this, then it means you can also solve that. If you can get +7, you can get -7. Now, let me give you an example of what that means. Let's say you have a +25 and a -18, or a -25 and a +18. Then it means that over here, there'll be a +7. Over here will be a -7. All right? Hopefully we get that, right? So I'm using that as an example so that we understand that all we're doing is, once we have the correct numbers, all we need to do is change the sign. That's all we do, right? We just go change the sign. Simple as that. We're only changing the sign. So therefore, if you can find -7, you can find +7, right? So just putting that out, right? So that's the first thing you want to remember. Another thing you want to remember too is we're going to be focusing on the A and the C. Now here's why that's interesting. What a lot of people do is They find the product of the two and then they start creating a factor tree. I don't do that. That's not for me. Okay? That's definitely not for me. So this is what I do. What I do instead is this. I have 6 in the form of 2 times 3. I have 24 in the form of 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. How could we use this to get that answer up there? How? I'll tell you. What if I grouped all the 2s and all the 3s? So I have you right here, and I have you right here. Four times 2 is 8 times 2. Okay, this is going to be 16. This over here, 3 by 3. Now, fun fact. When you have a minus, then minus, or a plus, then minus, in those instances, you are going to find the difference, right? So this is an indication of difference, right? Meaning you're going to be subtracting, right? So only when you have a minus then minus or a plus then minus, that is when it's indicative of the difference, right? So just letting you know about that. So that's your clue. Now we have this. Do we add 16 plus 9? No, because we're dealing with difference. So because we're dealing with difference, we know we can't add these two. We know we need to subtract. Well, how would we subtract this? Well, is it that this is positive and this is negative? 16 minus 9 is a 7, but this would give you a what? A positive 7. And let's put the x's there. So that means that this doesn't match with this. But nothing is wrong with that. Because all we have to do now, we have the correct number. We just have the incorrect sign. So all we do now is we just say, okay, well, if the plus doesn't work here, let's put the minus here, plus here, and now this becomes oh, sorry about that. Yeah, that's it. So just like that, you have found your replacement for minus 7x. So we're going to replace this with minus 16x and plus 9x. That's what we're going to do. All right, that looks a bit inelegant. Let's see if I can, fix that up, Yeah, that, you know. Anyway, that's what you want to do. And the more you practice this, the easier it gets with all of the different variations of this kind of quadratic equation. Trust me. It hasn't failed me. It hasn't failed me, but trust me. If you want to see the remainder of all of these questions that I do, then of course you can go to First Person Tutor, right? And you can type that on Facebook and YouTube. So yeah, you can just type this in, right? Yeah, type in First Person Tutor on Facebook or YouTube. Yeah. And I'll be the one to pop up and I will go through a number of these. Quite a few of them. All right. So let's blur that out a little bit and see what we can do with this. All right. So now that we have that, we're going to replace the middle term with a minus 16 and a plus 9. Right? So we're going to have a minus 16 and a plus 9. Let's see what that looks like. So we're going to have now I want you to pay attention to the blue. I want you to pay attention to the blue. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. Yeah. Now we can get, it's going to be fun. Watch this now. Now, I like my primary school mathematics. If I have the numbers 6 and 16, I mean I have 2 by 3 and I have 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Well, my HCF has to be 2. And then the HCF of x and x squared is x. So therefore, if you were to put x and, so let's say you put x here and an x right here. Right? Therefore, your HCF is 2x. Your HCF goes outside here. And look at what we did not circle. We didn't circle 3x. 3x goes here. Right? Now, how would you know that this is a minus 8? Well, this is all you know. Put minus 16x and divide it by 2x. The x is cancelled. Minus 16 divided by 2 is a minus 8. That's how you know this is minus 8. Right? So therefore, you multiply this by this and that. This times this, you do this times this. There you go. So we're good with the left. All right? So we're okay with the left-hand side. Now, how would we get what comes here and here? I'll give you a clue. Take this term. You have a choice. You can divide plus 9x by 3x or divide minus 24 by minus 8. Either way, you end up with a plus right here. So you're going to end up with plus 3 right here. And now, plus 3 times this 3x gives you that. So we can put this right here. Plus 3 times minus 8 gives you minus 24. No, I'm a little bit lazy. Normally, I color code. So normally, I'll either make this red or blue, right? I normally make this red or blue. And in so doing, drop a bracket here, drop a bracket here. What I tend to do is, what's in red goes over here, and what's in black goes over here. So this will fall in here. The 3x minus 8 will be here, and the 2x plus 3 will go in here. And ladies and gentlemen, you don't really hate mathematics. You just need to make abundant tangible habits. There you go. There you go. So I'm hoping that, yeah, this is one of my methods. And there are others. There are a lot more where that came from. I can go into how I subtract without using the borrowing method, my method of long and short division and that sort of thing. So I'll get into all of that. So who knows? Maybe when I start doing those, I'll probably be dressed in black. So that way, mix it up a little bit. Don't want to be the same all the time. So anyway, again, some people claim they don't like mathematics. All they really need to do is to start making abundant, tangible habits. And that's it. All right, that is it. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. And I guess I'll see you next time.